Hi there, welcome back to the bookshelf. This is Liz, and with 2018 upon us, of course, a lot of you are making New Year's resolutions. I have done the same. I didn't really think of them as resolutions because I think there's a psychological block there. When it's a resolution, I just don't want to do it anymore. But basically things I want to work on and do in 2018. So I have my trusty list, and let's get started. I want to keep in touch with friends and family better. I am pretty much the only one in my family, my immediate family, who has left Pennsylvania and moved around the country several places, so I don't live where I grew up, and because of that, a lot of my friends are still, from high school and college, are still back home in the Pennsylvania area, so I don't see them all that often. But I am trying to utilize social media and inviting them to come visit me, and me going to visit them a little bit more so we can keep in touch. Another thing I want to do in 2018 is declutter. Now this is something that every year I want to declutter, and I feel that every year I improve at it. About 2.5 years ago, whenever I was living on campus, I had a 2-bedroom apartment, and the second bedroom was basically a studio apartment, and that was just my junk room. It was what you would put in an attic or basement or storage unit. I had craft supplies galore. I had boxes of photos from whenever I was younger. I had things that I found at Goodwill, like shelving, and I had Christmas decorations and things like that. And so whenever I moved from there to here, I had to get rid of a lot because I only had 1 bedroom. So essentially trying to put a 2-bedroom apartment into 1 bedroom and then live there was just insane and unheard of. So basically I did that and then started to declutter out of the 1 bedroom. I do have a storage unit where I have things that you would typically keep in an attic or basement. I have some mementos, memorabilia from school, things that I would want to pass on down to my own children, things that I'd want to show them in the future, because we don't have an attic or basement here. So I do have a storage unit. But I have done a really good job at decluttering a lot of paper, taking a lot of books, donating them to the library. I don't really decorate for the holidays, so I don't have a lot of like holiday bric-a-brac, things like that, hanging around. But I do have a lot of paper. I'm very sentimental. Cards, pictures, like right now. Look at that. It's a box of photos that I am decluttering. Basically, whenever I went home for Thanksgiving, the contents of my father's basement ended up in my car. So I have that in one of the closets here in the spare bedroom, so I'm going through that. So I want to declutter all that, get rid of what I need to get rid of, disperse to whomever various items. Let's see, in 2018, I want to become a teacher. That's no surprise. I want to improve my meal prep and making my lunches. I really do like to cook. I primarily do it on the weekends when I have more time, but I always forget in the hustle and bustle of getting ready for work at night. I always forget to pack a lunch, and so in the morning I'm rushing out the door and going to a fast food joint on campus or nearby, and it's just not healthy. And I do notice that when I'm not working, I eat healthier and I feel better because I'm not eating junk food. So improving that, I don't want to go to fast food for lunch when I'm working. So improving meal prep and packing lunches. I would like to join another community group or event. I am in a community band, but I do want to go do something else, whether it's volunteer or join a local community theater or a choir, something like that. I want to branch out further in the community. I want to visit 2 states that I've never visited before, which shouldn't be extremely hard. I do live a couple hours away from Delaware, and I've never been to Delaware. I'm also quite near Tennessee and Kentucky, so those are also possibilities. But I'd really like to visit at least 2 states that I haven't. I would like to move more. I know that sounds really vague, but a lot of people's New Year's resolutions involve losing weight, and I just want to move more. I want to walk more. I want to find activities where I'm not so sedentary and just sitting here. So if that means finding like a dance class or an exercise class I like, or just walking at lunch, things like that, just move more. So whenever I find myself being sedentary, just sitting here, what can I do to move more? I want to establish the habit of finishing the job. I am notorious for starting a job and completing it like 75% of the way and then saying, oh, I'll finish the last 25% later. Like for example, folding laundry, I'll fold all the towels except like 2 towels. Oh, I'll come back and do that later because that's just a small job. It's just 2 towels. And it just infuriates me because I never go back to finish the job. Same thing with I get out a hairdryer, dry my hair, leave it on the counter. No, put it back in the drawer. How hard is it? So finish the job. Let's see what else. I also want to, in 2018, to finish the journey of making my home entirely chemical free. And this means makeup, body care products, cleaning products, dish soap. I want it all to be as natural as possible. So I am about halfway there, and so I want to finish the job. I would like to pay off 2 credit cards. I have debt, like a lot of people, but I want to pay off 2 credit cards this year. I also want to get a new car. The car I have is about 11 years old, and it has been very, very trusty. It has worked very well, but this past year it has been making more trips to the mechanic than I would like, so I would love to get a new car. I currently have a small 4-door Chevy, and it works fine. I mean, I don't mind it at all, but I think I want to try to get a small SUV, so I'm going to start looking for those in 2018. I want to be in a place financially where I can stop the part-time tutoring job if I want. Currently, I only have 3 clients, and they're ones that I've had for like the past year, so I have an established relationship with them, and I really enjoy working with them. So I wouldn't just drop them and stop, but I want to be able to stop tutoring if I wanted to. I want to read 52 books, and yes, that's 1 book per week in the year, but it's something that every year I say, I'm going to read 52 books, or I'm going to do a certain book challenge, and I never have. So I want to read 52 books, and I think it should not be too difficult, since I really want to brush up on a lot of like middle school and young adult literature. So those books tend to be pretty short. And I also want to create, for real, a legit, like a partial one, legit like get home bag that I can keep at work and in my car, and a car emergency kit. A couple years ago, I went off the road in wintertime, and I essentially had to hitchhike 30 miles to get to some place with cell phone service. And thank God I was dressed appropriately for the weather, but I didn't have any kind of emergency type stuff in my car in the event that Good Samaritan didn't come by and pick me up. So I actually want to create a legit car emergency kit and a legit get home bag. And finally, I want to officially get my handgun license for this state. Like I had said in a previous video, I think being able to protect yourself is very important, and I would really like to have that skill. So let me know down in the comments below what your goals for 2018 are, and I would love to hear from you.